There's never been a more exciting time to try to make money from the financial markets. With the world bouncing back from the market crash of 2008, there are new opportunities everywhere. Experts at the City Index Trading Academy say they can teach anyone to be successful. And to prove it, they've chosen 8 aspiring traders to take part in a new competition. The winner will pick up a cash prize of £100,000.
If I put my mind to something, it gets done.
I am in it to win it, and I want to go all the way.
I will give 110%.
2 of City Index's top market analysts will be trying to turn our competitors into superstar traders as they battle it out in the global markets.
You can't be a gambler. If you're treating this as a roll of the dice, then you have no edge.
Each week, the competition will get tougher, the stakes will get higher, and traders who can't keep up will pay the price.
Our traders should consistently visualize the winning trade. It's out there, it can happen, it will happen, and they can make it happen.
And for one City Index Trading Academy graduate, there's the ultimate prize and the skills to make money from the markets for the rest of their life. It's nearly the end of the 3rd week's challenge, and it'll soon be time for our expert analysts to decide who will be leaving the academy this week. Last week, aspiring cab driver John Walsh finished at the top of the table for the 2nd time in a row, while humanist celebrant Hilary Leiter became the latest trader to be eliminated from the academy.
Hilary, I'm afraid your account is closed.
I hadn't realised that there is such a wiggle, and that for me was the hardest thing.
As Hilary left the academy for the last time, the 6 remaining competitors were set their 3rd trading challenge. This week, you're going to have to make even more crucial decisions as you trade on thousands of global shares.
There's 6 people left now, so 50% are going to end up in the bottom 3. Do I think it's going to be me? No, I don't.
Next time you see me in the room will be when they give me 100 grand.
For the first part of the week, they traded wherever and whenever they wanted, and their learning continued as the experts ran seminars and online education sessions. And after the first day of trading, the table looked like this. Having been given a second chance last week, John Mack looked to be repaying the experts' faith in him by taking an early lead. At the other end of the table, journalist Ryan Thompson was second from bottom. The big surprise, however, was that 2 traders who'd experienced success in the first weeks of the competition, John Walsh and Martin Baker, were also in the elimination zone at this early stage. Despite finding himself 3rd from bottom on day 2 of the challenge, waste disposal company owner Martin Baker felt sure he'd be able to trade himself to safety.
I'm on the bottom 3 this week, but I'm confident of returning and moving back up.
Martin felt that his previous experience of trading stocks and shares would give him the advantage he needed to escape the bottom 3 and dispose of the competition.
Our task this week is trading shares. That's obviously something I've had experience in, so I'm really happy, I'm really confident, and happier probably about this task than a couple of the others anyway, so we'll see what happens.
In contrast to Martin, journalist Ryan Thompson found himself outside his comfort zone as he struggled to deal with the challenge of trading equities.
I've certainly found it difficult this week with equities because they just don't move fast enough. It's just something I've never traded before and just don't like trading either. I'm used to trading foreign exchange. I get impatient, I want to see the profit and I want to bank it.
For father of 2 Ryan, trading is more than just a hobby, and he hopes that the markets can offer him an alternative to his career as a journalist, and success in the competition means a lot.
With school fees to pay and a wife with champagne tastes, I saw trading as a means to a new start. My P&L isn't good enough this week and I'm in the bottom 3, then I've got every chance of going home. I'm just focused on trying to get through this week.
As the traders arrive at City Index for the final day of trading, it looks like Martin's hopes of trading himself to safety have gone down the drain, and he currently rests in last place. For Ryan Thompson, equities continue to be a difficult challenge, and he's sitting 3rd from bottom, with last week's top trader John Walsh finding himself in unfamiliar territory in 5th place.
Well, one of the traders that really impressed me this week is John Mack. After barely making it in the first 2 weeks, he's getting rid of the bad habits that we told him to get rid of, and he is trading well. But someone who really disappointed me this week is Shazad. He did not make any trades in the last 2 days of the week. This competition is not only about surviving, but how badly you want it. You have to make trades to win it.
So we're nearly at the end of the traders' third week in the City Index Trading Academy, and once again things are extremely tight. Currently either Ryan or Shazad could find themselves facing elimination. So what happens in this final hour of trading could really affect who gets to stay in the competition.
Currently, I think I'm third from bottom, and Shazad is about 20 to 25 pounds away. I have noticed that Shazad hasn't traded at all. Everyone has their tactics, but I think that's a little questionable for a trading competition.
Another trader who's unhappy with Shazad's passive strategy is last week's winner, John Walsh, who's currently second from bottom in the table.
We both made the same trade,
Yeah.
but I lose more
Yeah.
because I was willing to up the stake size where you wasn't.
No, because you've got a different strategy to mine. You believe that you can risk more than 1.2, 1.3%. I'm more comfortable risking 1%.
Finished top the first 2 weeks and now I'm second from bottom. This has been a bit of a jolt to the system, I must be honest. But at the same time, one trader only traded once this week, which I think is unacceptable.
If you make trades and you win, you've got to take your out of them. But doing nothing is not a strategy.
No, of course not. At the end of the day, this is a competition. And, in previous weeks when people have been not in the bottom three, they've sort of just sat back and let the other people in the bottom three take the pressure. So today, I think I'll just wait and see how Ryan trades.
Someone else who'd hoped to trade himself to safety is bottom of the table Martin Baker. Despite claiming to be experienced at trading shares, he's had the biggest loss of any of the traders this week. And with less than an hour to go, a meeting with the experts looks unavoidable.
It's been a challenging week this week. Quite volatile markets, so decided to continue trading, wanting to increase my P&L. Clearly, I'll be disappointed if the experts' decision is for me to go home, but I know that I've put my all into this competition.
With trading finished, it's former Marine Jamie Hanmore who tops the table, just ahead of a revitalised John Mack. Despite working hard to trade himself out of danger, Ryan is unable to close the gap on Shazad, and he remains in the elimination zone along with John Walsh and Martin Baker. All three will have to explain themselves to James and Ashraf and face the prospect of going home at the halfway stage in the competition. Okay, James, Ashraf, the final table's in. Not one of them's made a profit this week. It's been really tough, hasn't it?
Yes, it has, and they've really had to adapt to trading in the shares markets, which is much different from trading the indices that they're used to.
Yeah, it definitely was a tough week, and it shows in the standings. I really wanted to see who could cope with the pressure.
Take a look at Ryan. I sort of call him Undercover Ryan because he was sort of, under the radar for the first 2 weeks. You take a look at his biggest loss, it far outweighs his biggest win.
Why is that a problem?
Well, obviously he's not running his profits, which is never a good thing.
And John Walsh?
The duration of his trades are very, very short term. Some of his trades were only a few seconds.
But why is that a problem?
I think in the shares market, it's a little bit more longer term in scope. So you can trade shares short term, but not that short term. Another thing that really concerns me is that we're providing education and training throughout the week. And he simply hasn't shown up, which makes me wonder, does he really want to learn? Does he really want to get better?
And finally, Martin.
Yes, Martin is at the bottom of the league. He's been quite mysterious throughout the competition, but really now he's showing what he can do or what he cannot do. His win to lose average has fallen quite sharply. He's had the biggest trading loss of the week. On the positive, he's been able to diversify, to trade shares across the various industries, but this probably might not be good enough.
Okay, so we're going to bring those three back and
Wait a
see what
minute,
they...
wait, guys. I would like to focus on one trader here, and that's Shazad, okay? We gave him a reprieve last week. This time, he made only one trade. That's just not good enough. I'm not sure what game he's trying to play here, so I would really like to know what he has to say. I think we should bring him in.
I completely agree. Let's bring him in here.
Okay, so we're bringing four back, not three.
Yes.
It's time for the bottom three traders and Shazad to face the experts. John, Martin, Ryan, Shazad. You're here for all the wrong reasons. James, Ashraf, where would you like to begin?
There's 4 of you this week. I would like you to know that there is no hard rule that says that we cannot eliminate more than 1 person. So I would like you all to think about that in this process.
John, I want to start with you. What went wrong? I thought shares were your strong point.
If I'm honest, I stuck to my trading plan, my risk management. I considered them to be solid trades. Clearly they wasn't, but at the same time, I'm still happy with the way I traded.
What really concerns me is this competition is not just about ROI, it's about education. You know, we can't really assess how you're absorbing the education if you're not showing up. So why is that?
I appeared for the first one. Moving forward, I will make different arrangements to make sure of my attendance.
Martin, I did like some things, what you did. You diversified across industries, but what really struck out is the drop in your win-to-loss ratio. Around 70% of your trades were losing trades.
Sure. I mean, what I have done is, try to put in place the risk-reward management. I am quite cautious, but yes, I do agree that does need to be addressed.
Ryan, your biggest loss far exceeded your biggest win. Now, what are you doing about your risk-reward ratio?
It's a very fair criticism you make. I know it's a fault of mine. I just need to be more aggressive with those winning trades when they're in. Let price hit my targets.
So you're basically not running your profits.
Shazad, you escaped from the bottom 3. I think you know why you're here. Last week we gave you a reprieve. We gave a reprieve to John Mack, who placed in the bottom 3 in the first week, second week. He came out, he got rid of his bad habit. Now he's in the top 2. We gave a reprieve to Jamie Hanmore. He's first. What do you have to show for with 1 trade in 4.5 days? Ryan, how many trades did you place?
I think it was between 17 and 19.
17 and 19. We still got people coming to me, emailing me, said, is there a way that I can get in and trade? We're giving you an opportunity to win 100 grand. We're giving you the opportunity for you to learn. You're not even interacting. You're not showing us the good and the bad. You're so passive that I don't know what are the good, what are the bad. This is disrespect to the competition and to the fellow traders.
No, I'm fine with that criticism. I understand, what you have to say, but I've got to explain my situation. I'm looking for, less trades in a day, not as many trades as my competitors. It's a different strategy.
I'm sorry, 1 trade is not a strategy. Jim, please help me out.
There are thousands and thousands of shares out there, and you say you found 1 opportunity. Thousands of shares, there should be many opportunities to trade during the week.
I take that on board as well. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with looking at loads and loads of different stocks. I picked about 10, 15 that I thought were good, that had some decent volatility, that I could trade. That, the opportunities that I put orders on didn't happen, and on Thursday I didn't get an opportunity, and then Friday, we're here today. I just want to,
show us the money, show us the trade, show us that you're growing.
Give me
black
the opportunity.
Over white. We've given you a reprieve. We've given you a reprieve, and we haven't seen anything out of it. We've given a reprieve for John Mack twice. He came back with a vengeance. He's on top on all of you. It's not acceptable.
Shazad, excuses aside, do you really want to be in this competition?
Yeah, I do. Of course, of course I do. Like, why wouldn't I want to be?
At the end of the day, you're asking us, give me another chance.
Look, if I felt like I couldn't be a trader, I wouldn't be here right now. I'll tell you guys right now, look, I'll walk away.
Okay, Ashraf, James, your final comments, please.
Well, first of all, let's start with Martin. You had a horrible win ratio at, I believe it was 27%, and the largest single loss this past week, which leads me to believe maybe your risk management is not really in place. John, you're trading way too short term. In terms of, we're talking seconds here, which is pretty much unacceptable. And you haven't taken advantage of education, which really concerns me.
Ryan, I've seen you trade. Second week showed some good trades. Looked at the third week, and I see you in the red. But I do like the way you explain your trades, and I feel that I understand them. And that's why you stay.
Thank you.
Martin, the worse ROI, the worse batting average. Martin, your trading account is now closed.
Okay, well, thank you for the opportunity, and I will continue to trade.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
John, who else do you think should go?
Obviously, it has to be Shazad for his inactivity.
Ryan?
It was difficult for me to see someone above me doing nothing. So, yeah, it would have to be Shazad.
And Shazad, what do you think?
It's got to be the person who has the least ROI between the two, and that was John Walsh.
John, you are here in the bottom 3, but you make it easy for us to keep you here.
Thank you.
Looking forward to see you next week.
Thank you.
Shazad, I want to tell you something. The only thing, forget ROI, forget everything, the only thing that saved you this week was that the rule that says the person to go has to be in the bottom 3. You can look at my eyes. I think it's not fair. But that's the only thing that saved you.
So, as Shazad survives into next week, waste disposal expert Martin Baker looks back over missed opportunities.
Well, it's disappointing to go out at this stage. For Tuesday, I was number 2 on the leaderboard. I could have not traded and stayed in that position, but this is a trading competition after all. Everyone's got their own trading styles. Some people can take more risks, as I did this week. But if you're in the bottom 3, you've got to go, and that's where I found myself, unfortunately.
So 39-year-old Martin becomes the 3rd trader to leave the academy. The week's biggest losing trade and worst ROI have cost him his place in the competition. 5 traders now remain, and they've been summoned by Ashraf and James to find out the details of their penultimate challenge. Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the City Index Trading Academy. We're over halfway through the competition, and it's time for all of you to step up your trading. You're going to have £100,000 to work with, and this week you choose your markets. So whether it's shares, indices, foreign exchange, or a mixture, it's down to you to take responsibility for what you trade. We also want you to start learning more about maximizing your gains and dealing with losses. James, what's so important about this concept?
Well, last week we talked about risk management and the ability to cut your losses. This week we're talking about the other side of the coin, which is running your profits. Now, without the ability to run your profits, your risk management plan is pretty much pointless. Now, as we get near the end of the competition here, running your profits is very much going to be the key to your success.
Thank you. And Ashraf, what should they look out for this week?
To start with, Wednesday, you're going to have the minutes of the Bank of England decision. How many members voted for quantitative easing and how many did not? That could really impact the British pound. And then the important number is on Friday, which is the IFO number, which is the big sentiment survey from Germany. This could directly impact the euro and the DAX.
And guys, one more thing. In the beginning of this competition, we talked about 3 things you need to look out for: yourself, the markets, and the other traders in the competition. This week, we're suspending the leaderboard so you can't actually see what the other traders are doing. In order to succeed, you really have to forget about what everyone else is doing and just trade to the best of your ability. Playing it safe this week is not an option.
Thank you, James. Okay, guys, there's no limit to your trade size this week, but there is a minimum stake. The smallest trade you can make in this challenge is £20 a point. James and Ashraf want to see how you deal with larger positions, just like experienced traders do on a daily basis. It's time to start thinking big. Finally, if any of you finish the week with a profit of £5,000 or more, you automatically earn a place in the final and a guaranteed shot at the £100,000 prize. So as ever, I'm going to leave you now with James and Ashraf to give you some more tips and techniques to help you. I'll see you again in a few days. There's a lot at stake, guys. Good luck. Sometimes traders can be their own worst enemies. If they're inexperienced, they can sometimes make life difficult for themselves by lacking the courage to keep a winning trade on when the markets start to move in their favour. It's equally common for a rookie to hang on to a losing position for far too long in the vain hope that it might recover. This is known as running your losses. A successful trader will be able to put their emotions to one side and cut losses early. They'll also stick with winning bets to make the most money they can from each trade.
Profits and losses are part and parcel of a trader's life. Every trader makes losses. It is important to avoid repeating them and also to capitalize on what they did right.
Now, the trick for them is to be able to avoid those catastrophic losses, those losses that blow out your account. And you really don't want to do that. You really need to stick with your plan and target consistent profitability.
A trader's best defense against their emotions getting the better of them is a bomb-proof trading plan. If they get that right, then it will help them make the correct call, even when the markets are at their most unpredictable.
As a point of note, the foreign currency market can be extremely volatile. We could have moves of over 200 points in a given day on a given currency pair. So the markets can move very quickly in a very short period of time. Now, if you're on the wrong side of a particular move, that can get very painful. What you really want to do overall is you want to be able to target longevity in your trading. You want to be able to live to trade another day. And basically what I always tell people is that if you cannot last, you cannot win.
With the fourth challenge about to commence, Ashraf and James begin the trader's education for the week ahead.
Guys, this week we're going to be talking about running your profits and how to do so effectively.
Now, we know we have a big account, £100,000, so don't let the leverage scare you.
So, with a lot more at stake, plus the chance of a guaranteed place in the final, the traders have a lot to think about. And with their trading figures kept hidden, none of them will know if they're safe until the end of the challenge.
So now we're effectively trading blind against the others, which will add another element of pressure. With the markets that have been opened up to us now, I think the opportunities are there to really go and grab this competition this week.
I'm going to get to that $5,000 total and just go past it. It will show that I've got no fear. So I've just got to prove everyone wrong, really, because right now it seems like everyone thinks I shouldn't be here. So.
Obviously now we've got the bigger account size of 100,000 with the minimum trade size of £20. It's not going to be easy, but I like to think I can finish back on top. I've done it twice before. There's no reason why I can't do it again.
Our 5 traders now have until midday on Friday to make as much money as they can on any markets. They'll be battling it out for a place in the final and the chance of winning £100,000. At the end of the week, at least one more trader will be leaving the academy. You too can learn from the experts and find out more about running profits at the City Index Trading Academy website. If you think you could do better, register with City Index today to get a live account and start testing yourself against the academy contestants. Return to cityindex.co.uk next Tuesday to find out how they've got on and which of our traders will survive into week 5.